Breaking news, the Wall Street Journal is just reporting now that the United States Justice Department has ordered key Chinese state media firms to register as foreign agents. These are media companies that operate here: Xinhua News Agency and China Global Television Network, formerly known as CCTV. A lot of you may have heard of CCTV. This as U.S. officials continue to combat foreign influence operations, read cyber attacks and infiltration, all while toughening their stance on Chinese policies, or a variety of them. The DOJ order comes, of course, amid escalating trade tensions with China as new tariffs were unveiled on $200 billion in Chinese goods. You just heard the president saying China will no longer be allowed to rip us off. Well, what about the fact that the midterms are coming? We're just 48 days until the November elections, and Facebook yesterday took the next step to protect political campaigns by rolling out a new pilot program of security tools. In a blog post yesterday, the head of Facebook's cybersecurity policy said the tools are to help those vulnerable to hackers and foreign adversaries. He also wrote, "This program will help us quickly detect and participants quickly report any targeting that does happen. If we discover an attack against one campaign official, we will review and protect other accounts that are enrolled in our program and affiliated with that same campaign. As we detect abuse, we will continue to share relevant information with law enforcement and other companies." Well, everybody says, and we're talking about all U.S. security organizations admitting and saying that it's the Russians who interfered with our elections in 2016. One company that helped finger the Russians as that culprit back then says the Russians are not our biggest fear now. CrowdStrike, the cybersecurity company hired by the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, that found two separate Russian breaches within the DNC network in June of 2016, has another adversary we should be way more concerned about. With me now, in a Fox Business exclusive, CrowdStrike Chief Technology Officer Dmitri Alperovitch. Dmitri, who is it?
Great to be with you, Liz. Well, the president just talked about China and how China is ripping us off, and I have to say I completely agree with him. And it's not just about trade, it's about cybersecurity issues. And for the last 2 decades, Chinese military, the People's Liberation Army, and the Chinese Ministry of State Security, their intelligence agency, have been breaking systematically into companies across all sectors of our economy: manufacturing, energy, healthcare, and high tech. However, last 2 years, an agreement was struck back in 2015 where the Chinese had actually agreed to cease that activity and not to engage in commercial espionage. But what we've been seeing, particularly in light of the trade conflict that we're engaged with right now, is that they've resumed this activity, and companies all over the United States are suffering major breaches from the Chinese actors, primarily their Ministry of State Security.
Okay. What happened to that deal? There was nothing really that was solid enough to keep the Chinese to it from back in 2015. That was under President Obama. What are they doing? What can you at CrowdStrike see? Are they tapping electronically on firewalls? Are they trying to infiltrate our elections? Specifically, what can you tell us that you've discovered?
We're seeing a huge pickup in activity. It's been continuing really for the last year and a half, but increasing over time. And every major sector of the economy is being targeted. Primarily, they're focused on stealing our intellectual property, trade secrets, in order to counteract, in part, the trade tariffs that we're putting in place on them. And we certainly expect this activity to continue. And this is really the big story that I think is not being paid enough attention to. Yes, it's important to talk about Russia. Yes, it's important to talk about the elections. But fundamentally, if you look at the Pentagon's report just earlier this summer that talked about President Xi saying that the 21st century represents a strategic opportunity for China. A strategic opportunity to do what? To achieve economic dominance. And in part, they're using cyber to do that and to eclipse the United States in certain markets by stealing our research and development and trying to compete with us in the global marketplace.
I want to go back to the DNC hack where you guys were brought in and you were able to specifically finger 2 Russian hacking groups. There was Cozy Bear and Fancy Bear. I don't know where they get these names. There was also the Dukes that were linked to the Russian government. Do you have any doubt in your mind that the Russians infiltrated or attempted to infiltrate our elections?
No, I think it's pretty clear now. The Justice Department has indicted specific individuals related to that activity. There's a lot of evidence that has been put out. So I think that the book has been closed on that.
Okay. But does it open then on China? If China's trying to attack our companies and everything that you've just articulated, does that include are they as focused as the Russians are on trying to destabilize the voting confidence of our people?
The Chinese are less focused on the election, but in a way they're playing the long game. They're realizing that their strategic priority is to achieve economic dominance. They want to kick us out of key markets, starting with China, expanding to Southeast Asia, then Africa, Latin America, Europe, and so forth. And they're doing that in part through cyber, by stealing all of our secrets, by shortcutting that research and development time frame, and stealing our designs, manufacturing them on the cheap, and then trying to sell them back here.
Well, Micron Technology is dealing with that right now. It's pretty obvious exactly what happens. Dmitri, thank you.